All right. Good morning and welcome to the President's Perspective, our podcast where we bring to you timely updates, insights, and conversations shaping the real estate industry here in the Coachella Valley and beyond. I am Stephenie Zinn, your 2025 President of the California Desert Association of Realtors. And today we have with us Erick Beceril from Cathedral City. I hope I said that right. We've met enough times now, I should get it right. He is here to share with us some really great information. I'll just give you a little background on how we are getting together today. A little while ago, the city reached out to us and said they had some valuable information that they wanted to share. I was able to get together with them, and the information they shared was so important that I thought we needed to get it out to everybody, all of our members. So I asked Erick to join us today so that he can share that information with us. So Erick, thank you so much for being here today. If you would, maybe just share a little with us about yourself and how you came to work with the city of Cathedral City.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Stephenie. So a little bit about me. My name is Erick Beceril. I'm the Economic Development Manager for Cathedral City. I've been here for about a year now and have some really exciting updates that we've been working on over the last several months, taking this role on. We really wanted to bring some new, fresh perspectives to some different investments that we have and business sectors that we have, and with that, help tell a compelling story about Cathedral City, which is so critical in this day and age with social media. So, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I hope today some of the stuff that we share is valuable to some of your members.
Yes, and I shared with you, Erick, before that as someone who grew up in the city of Cathedral City, I consider myself one of the daughters of Cathedral City. It's very exciting to me to see all of the, like you said, the investments you have made in our area and what Cathedral City is doing to help with homeownership and with housing. It's exciting. And even some of the commercial developments, I think some of those are the sexy ones that we get all excited about. So I'm sure you'll tell us a little later where Dutch Brothers is going.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Well, if you would, we've given you the ability to share screen. So I think what I'd like for you to do is talk a little bit about this new website that you showed us and the resources that you have for upcoming developments.
Yeah, of course. I'll go ahead and I'll share my screen. I'm going to start out by just taking you to our main website so you're familiar, everybody's familiar with it, and you can actually go from the main website to get to any of the information that you all need. So, okay, so if you go to our main website, which is cathedralcity.gov, this is where you will land.
Okay.
So when you get here, we're working actually on a revamp of the entire site, but so far we've made some small incremental steps behind the scenes on some of our economic development stuff. So I'll go ahead and share that. But when you come here, up at the very top, you're able to kind of go to anywhere that you need. For our particular purpose, we're going to go down to departments, and we are part of community and economic development department, so we're part of community development. And this is really important because being under that umbrella of community development, we're actually able to create some really cohesive work environments where we have a lot of interdepartmental relationships that we can really expedite projects a lot quicker by just having everything sort of in-house. So when you click on community and economic development, it'll take you to our main page where if you're looking at maybe doing an addition, maybe getting a little bit more information with planning, you'll see planning, building, as well as code compliance all fall under community and economic development. So in here we can go to economic development, and on our main page it'll take you to here. Some people ask what economic development is. To some it's bringing big box retail. To others it's helping get projects through the finish line. And I think one overarching, similarity is a lot of us cities, we are all in collaboration with CalEd, which is the California Association for Economic Development here in California. And they have a really good description of what economic development is, and that's the creation of wealth from which community benefits are realized. And if you kind of think of that as a very broad perspective, when we look at economic development, we don't just look at bringing any development, but we try to do it in a very sustainable and thoughtful manner so that we ultimately are looking for more than just a jobs program. This is an investment where we can grow our economy and really enhance the prosperity and quality of life for the residents. And if we kind of like look at that perspective, that's really where we're coming from on some of the things that I'll be sharing with you. So in that, a lot of times when you go to a city, you want to know what's going on. So in this, we try to put the more important things at the top, and I'll kind of just touch on them as we go. But here at our website, you can scroll through and actually find different things, anywhere from looking at development to looking at resources for you as a small business. So the majority of businesses in California and the U.S. Are noted to be considered small businesses. So what does that mean? Well, our emphasis really goes around ensuring that we are going and getting the resources that those types of businesses need. And so in that, we've been working with a number of agencies, anywhere from the Coachella Valley Women's Business Center to Riverside Office of Economic Development, all the way to UCR, to ensure that we have all their resources in front of our residents and our constituents, to ensure that they have the appropriate resources that they need to grow in our community. So that's just a little kind of highlight of our website. This is our landing page. So when you go here, if you need any specific information that you are not finding right away, at the very end of it, you actually have my direct contact information, so you can call and email me, and I can kind of get you headed in the right direction. But that's just a little bit of our page, but I can go into specific areas.
Yeah, I think one, Eric, that I'm really interested in is, I believe it's that Ignite program. It's the business coaching that you have that's
Yeah, so
available. Tell us a little bit about that, because that I was really impressed by.
Yeah, so the Ignite program is actually really unique, and I'm actually going to take you to our Discover Cathedral City. If you go to our Discover Cathedral City site, we try to highlight a number of things. And so one of the things that we have is this Cathedral City Ignite program, where we actually bring specific resources that are tailored to businesses that are really education focused. And so these include a multitude of either standalone workshops, as well as a collaboration with the Coachella Valley Women's Business Center to offer one-on-one counseling every Thursday.
So for those of us with clients, maybe in commercial or that are wanting to open a business in the city of Cathedral City, or really anywhere in the Coachella Valley, some of these resources are available to our residents to be able to get help with creating those businesses, right?
That's right. So we thought of a way to provide a solution towards something that's kind of a generic question, and I wouldn't even say it's a problem. It's probably a good problem to have. We have a lot of entrepreneurial spirit in Cathedral City, and I would say probably the valley as a whole, which is such a good thing when you think about job creation. You know, you need to have that engine of creativity, and we have that here in the Coachella Valley. And so what we can do as administrators in government is help facilitate that in a really progressive manner, where we're able to hold their hand through different processes and ensure that they're able to get their project off the ground or to the next level, meaning if they already have an existing business and they want to level it up, we are the resource to get them there. Most businesses are small businesses, as they fall in the parameters of that. And so even businesses that make millions of dollars still can fall within the parameters of what's considered a small business. And so with that being said, we want to ensure that both existing businesses and new businesses looking to come to Cathedral City know about this sort of one-stop shop. So every Thursday we have resources here held in Cathedral City. And these are a variety of resources that, like I said, offer either one-on-one counseling, and we offer that every Thursday from 1 to 5 p.m. You can schedule it, and if you need to schedule it in Spanish, you can actually schedule that as well, so English or Spanish, and you can talk to individuals that will help connect you to the resources, such as getting capital for your business. A lot of people start their business idea with their own money that they've gathered and they've collected over the years, And what we want them to do is learn about a variety of resources and other types of capital that they can access so that they maintain their business and they're not dipping into their personal funds. So this is part of that sort of hand holding where we want to ensure that these entrepreneurs have the resources and can ask the right questions. We also have more more long-term programs, and so there's standalone workshops, and then there's the long-term ones. And so one of the ones that we have coming up is, let me see if I could share it. Business counseling. The Ignite is the SBDC Start program. So we started that one, and that is a 4-week program. And this one helps you start everywhere from starting your business all the way to actually launching. Currently, I believe we have 7 people in this cohort, so there's still room for a few more. It's very hands-on. We actually had one of our council members attend the last one this last Thursday, and they found it to be very valuable. A lot of good resources. And so even if you're an existing business, there isn't something that you won't learn here. This is information that's very pertinent to business owners. So if you get the opportunity or if you know of someone that could benefit from this sort of guidance, this is the place to direct them to. We also offer, as part of the Ignite workshop or the Ignite program, we offer free grand openings. And also even specialized support. So we have specific businesses that have their own challenges. It might be that they're interested in purchasing a property and want to know the type of zoning that's applicable to that property or even development standards. I think that for us as economic development, our goal is to make our process predictable. And if we can do that for you all, for your investors, the brokers, the realtors involved, then the quicker the process goes, and ultimately we can get those individuals either breaking ground or opened up. So just a little bit about what we're doing. And if you actually go to our Discover Cathedral City site, we actually did a little article about some of the other highlights that are going on in our city, including just some of the, stats that people might be interested in. Our downtown is very popular, so capturing that data is very important to us. So we actually have a little bit of information that we've been able to gather with collaborating with agencies such as Visit Greater Palm Springs. And
Awesome.
So a little bit about the Ignite program.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's, again, super valuable to our members, but specifically for us to be able to serve those clients that we know, that are thinking about opening a business and could use the resources and you could use the help. That Cathedral City is a really great place to start for that. I would love for us, my next question is about what other resources that you think would be good for our members, for real estate agents to know about what Cathedral City provides. But you showed me on your website your housing map, and I wanted to see if you could maybe go over that with us just real briefly, just kind of show people what that looks like so that they know where to go to get to it.
Yeah, so let's take you back. So if we go back to our economic development page here, you can actually scroll down to our development dashboard. Mm-hmm. And the development dashboard is something that helps us tell the story of development in our community by highlighting some of the active projects that people see when they're out and about. And we do this actually in a collaborative effort with engineering, planning, building, as well as us economic development spearheading that effort. So every week we meet to discuss projects and statuses of projects, and in that we actually include the updating of this portal during that time. So all the project details that you have there are for the most part up to date. And so what you have here is a mix of commercial, mixed use, and residential projects that are going on around our community. So
yeah, there's my Dutch brothers.
There's your Dutch brothers. I was gonna say, so on the left-hand side, you have a running list of the projects, and then on the right-hand side, you can actually focus in and look at the specific project. So if you wanted to learn about Dutch Brothers, you can click on it and it'll actually zoom you into the site. And the neat part about this is we've actually geo-fenced the specific parcels. So some cities like to show like a pinpoint on where specifically the project is. We have we have individuals in our community that are very sharp, very smart, and they really want to know the full depth of what that project looks like. They want to know up to property line, like where is this project going? And I don't blame them. I'm a data geek. I love data. So we try to include all of that information to ensure that they get the appropriate resources that they need. So let's say you're interested on Dutch Brothers and you want to learn a little bit more about it. You can click on the details and it actually provides you way more information. So
Wow.
if you wanna geek out, you can go here and do so. So it gives you things like the project ID. So in this case, it's a CUP, so it's a conditional use permit. With the drive-through, it tells you who they are, what they plan on doing. So in this case, they were demolishing a vacant building, and they were going to construct a new 950 square foot drive-through. And if you can see, many people who live here have driven by and were like, wow, they took that building down fairly quickly. So others knew that that was happening because it's noted here. So as you're interested in doing so, you can see that if you drive by, it looks to be completed, but it's still not yet open. And so on that, when it does open, we'll move it over to completed. But in the meantime, it remains as under construction. If you have questions on the project and oh, hey, I'd like to know maybe a little bit about the color scheme, like is it going to be blue? And so you could actually reach out to, we put specifically who the planner is, because they're really the central point. They're the communicator for us through that entire process, basically, from start to finish. So you can call them, get more information on the actual, or email them, get more information on the project. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you might actually capture that information in some additional things that we just tried to add, not everything from the project, because that would be a lot of info, but we want to include things like the site plan, because
Yeah,
I
what you
think this
have
helps.
included is very helpful.
Good.
I didn't get this deep on this earlier. I'm like, this is so cool to be able to have all of this information at the click of a button. That
Oh,
even on a Sunday morning, if I'm just bored and want to get on my computer and see what's going on with that Dutch Brothers down the street and why it hasn't opened up yet, that all that information is there. It's like the
absolutely.
equivalent of owning, like in the 80s, owning a police scanner.
Yeah. Yeah, this is your police scanner in the 80s. This is it.
It's so cool where you have all of this data that you normally would have to go stand in line at the city for, to go talk to somebody at the planning counter, but now you have everything available at the click of a button. I bet that frees up a lot of man hours, at the office as well.
Yeah, I think it's really of course, we're all here in case there are questions. No question's a silly question. We're here to answer questions, but I think this helps ensure transparency, and the more that we hear that the terminology be so important in the public sector, to us is important that we help tell the story, and part of telling that story is transparently showing what the progress is of our community. We're really proud of the progress that's happening in our city. The development that's coming to our community is not taken lightly. We're very proud of the achievements that have occurred over the last several years. And I think any resident here in Cathedral City could say the same, that there are changes when they drive up and down some of the corridors that you see. You'll find that there's active moving projects that each bring a variety of resources. This Dutch Brothers, right? It's of course, it doesn't just involve the sales of coffee. It involves all of the pre-construction efforts and consulting time that works, the architects that are hired, the contractors that are hired, the jobs that are created through that, and then not just the job creation, but also all the adjacent multiplier effects that occur from
Yeah. I
development.
was just thinking about that, how that section of that development or that project has been empty, so to speak, for a little while, and how exciting it is that Dutch Brothers could help attract some other things to that complex would be
Oh
very, very
yeah. And so if we zoom out a little bit, we can see that just down the road we have a Sun Community Bank coming in. So this is again, when we talk about the importance of telling a story, when you drive by this shopping center, to me, one of the more exciting things was when they repaved the parking lot. Like
yeah.
that to me was a big deal. And like I look at those things, sometimes those things are a big lift for the landowners to do. And they sometimes don't, the ROI on it is not going to be as quick as what you would see in maybe the suite that you rent out.
Yeah.
This is all space that anybody can come in and use. And so knowing that we have landowners and business owners that are coming in and actually adding significant value to our areas and some of our main corridors, it's so important to us.
Yeah.
And in
Now
this,
I noticed you've also got over here, I see you have this commercial at the top where it says commercial, mixed use, and residential. So does that mean that we can click on the off to the right here just a touch? There you go.
yes.
Over there you go. Commercial, mixed use, and residential in the orange. Does that mean that for the residential properties you can click and get the same information as far as where the status of things are?
Yeah, absolutely. So here you have a little filter. You can come in here and you can actually filter out. If you just want to see residential, let's
Yeah.
go into residential. Let's go ahead and
I guess what I'm getting at is if let's say I have a property in Cathedral City and my neighbor 3 doors down has been doing a construction project or there's a new build coming in, I'm able to go in and look at the progress of that as well.
so this doesn't showcase small single family residences. This is
Just
really
projects.
but it does showcase, yes. Otherwise, we have a lot more. We have a lot of work, so it would be a
Yeah.
lot of colors. But
Yeah.
but definitely, if it's a significant project, let's say like they're finishing out a tract, or
Sure.
they're doing something like that, we will capture that, and we'll even capture some smaller sort of multifamily. We try to capture what's a little bit more than like a single family residential addition and things like that. That's something that you would likely probably have to go through a clerk and recorder and get a records request of getting like specific data on maybe a specific project. We likely would just tell you it over the phone if it was like a residential project of some
Sure.
sort. But this is more for like the higher level, larger projects. So if we do look at residential, we'll just pick one for example. Here on Date Palm, you have Newport 17. So Newport 17, you can see that it's under construction. If you're interested on like this is the level of what you would see for residential. So it'd be a little bit more larger of a project, but yeah, if you did want information on a smaller development or one that you don't see on here, again, my info is on the main site, so just shoot me an email and we can likely get you the info that you're looking for.
Awesome.
One of the programs that Cathedral City wanted to do was bring forward a pre-designed ADU or pre-approved ADUs that are free to the community, so people can actually download the plans and take a look at what these different project or different elevation types are, and see if any of those are ones that they want to build on their properties.
That's my next question is tell us a few commercial developments. This is the part that I always think we get excited about. So tell us what's coming to Cathedral City.